majority of the people in our circle.
Yeah.
And it's because you can understand it and then create your own observation of the complexity. So there's been able to digest complexity, then there's been able to digest it and then make a distinct one-of-one like creation of an idea premised on that. And I think that's a incredible skill that you have. And that's probably what will take you to that next echelon instead of keeping, what stacks a lot of people at that, first 1, 2, 3 million, even in their 40s and 50s, not, when, us in our 20s.
Yeah. 100%.
We'll wrap up with one more thing because I think, what time is it, Eric?
14.
14, perfect timing. I was supposed to wrap up 2:15, so perfect timing. Let's wrap up with failures, business failures.
Yeah.
So we got hella failures, all right? But
yeah.
give me your top, or just give me a story. It doesn't even have to be just business failures, just life. It can be, and you don't have to go into this topic, but it can be about relationships. It can be about in high school. It can be about primary school. It can be business, just 1 or 2 or 3 notable failures. I would love to hear a few stories on some of the failures you've copped or some of the embarrassing ones you might have copped.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like a mixture of both. E-com and sales is, I wouldn't necessarily say sales, it would be a failure. Only because in sales, you have to go through a lot of rejection and stuff to understand how to overcome it. But e-com, I started 14, my 15th store was my first successful store. So my previous 14 e-com stores I started was a failure. Like I failed all those 14 stores.
14 failures.
It took me 14 tries to eventually get one to understand. Like it all of a sudden clicked. Like it was like a formula that I actually pretty much formulated in my head to understand what makes a successful e-com store. Right.
Yeah.
And then and think about e-com. It's always molding. Like it's always different. Like every single couple of years, you have to adapt to
That's real.
to new models and new trends, and AI now is helping e-com dramatically. It's
100%.
crazy. But e-com. If I told someone I failed 14 times in e-com, they'd be like, "You're crazy for even doing that."
100%.
It took me a while. It took me 14 stores in a year and a half.
Yeah.
Imagine a year and a half of grinding, not making a single dollar, and putting in thousands of dollars.
Tough, man. You're tough.
Thousands, and then eventually it clicks, and you make that one store work, and then now you understand how to build a
proof of concept
store.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And then
maybe give us a non-business one, actually it can be, because business is tied to life in many ways.
Yeah.
But like one where it was like embarrassing, or like your ego was bruised, and you had to maybe create a new behavior as a result of a loss. It can be anything: relationships, business, life, but something a bit more embarrassing that you're willing to share.
Just think more. That's a tough one, actually, because I personally.
You're a better person than me, bro. I've been embarrassed. I get embarrassed per month.
Per month.
You're better than me, bro. You're better than me.
No, because I'm thinking. I would say
that's why you should do e-commerce, guys, because you get embarrassed online. I'm services. You get embarrassed. You get humbled in person everywhere.
No, honestly, now that you bring that up, I would say definitely sales for sure. Like,
okay,
yeah, when I was doing cold calling, and you have to become numb to it. So
100%. Yes,
I remember I had a cold call where I was calling them. It was for solar, securing a solar lead. It was a solar lead. It was a warm lead as well. But at that time when I called him, this client was this potential prospect was more of a cold lead. The way he was acting, of course.
Sure.
Friday night, 6 p.m.
I called him on Friday at 6.
Friday night 6.
Yeah, you might cop it.
He was at a bar drinking.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm calling him. I'm like, hey, by the way, his name was Frank. I remember I was like, hey Frank, just calling back on the solar lead. Keep in mind, I called him earlier in the morning, so he had a long day. So called him the second time. He's at a bar. I call him. He's drunk as hell, and he starts swearing. He's like, obviously really drunk, and he's like, "Don't you have anything better to do?" You can name it, everything under the sun. He's like, your mother must be proud.
What?
I'm like, hey, first of all, you told me to call you back. Yeah, cool. And because he was screaming so loud, everyone on the call on the call center floor just paused.
Oh, you were still at work. They heard you getting flamed.
They're just hearing. Everyone's like, how is he gonna handle this objection? And I was like,
what a G. He just took that as an objection. No, just an objection.
I mean, it's true because
well, it is, yeah.
And then it was And like I remember, like on that same like as soon as he just went off,
Yeah.
everyone's hearing it. Phone call ends, and they're like, "Damn!" Like he was going.
I copped it.
Yeah, I copped it. Everyone's like, "Yeah, like that was a tough one, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
next time, yeah, yeah." But I've handled similar situations where once you can handle like the worst of the worst, you can
100%.
turn that objection into an interest, and once they start generating questions, then you've got the bag. Like you've got the person.
Yeah.
For sure. It's yeah. Once someone generates questions in any sales that any service you're providing, you pretty much have a high success rate at closing. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice one.
Yep.
No, that's real, man.
Yeah.
And good on you for copying that, bro.
Yeah, it
It's good.
was bad, yeah.
It's good. I feel like for us, yeah, yeah.
No, yeah, it was bad, yeah, yeah.
Well, it wasn't good. Like,
For real.
I think it's good for particularly, I'm a man, so I want to speak to the men here. I think it's really good for young men to actually get their ego destroyed, like straight up. Like
100%.
as aggressive as me, like at least as fast as I might be speaking and as high energy, like and Merhawi's seen it, Eric has seen it. My ego gets humbled in like nearly every day in different ways. And I think it's really healthy because I feel like a lot of Gen Z and Gen Alpha men, like which is the generation after Gen Z, like a lot of like very fragile. And I don't think that is sustainable for the next generation of, whether it's the nuclear family or whatever family dynamic, to kind of make it a bit more socioeconomic and technically at this point. Because if you can't just murder your ego, then your ability to deal with an angry child, your ability to deal with an upset wife, right? It's not trained, it's not developed properly. And yeah, I just feel that some of the best things we could have done and we are still doing, but we did in our early 20s, mid 20s. I'm still in my mid 20s, we're still both, but like early 20s was to just get that ego just flamed. Because when we get a big loss financially or business wise or personally, it's like, okay, like I've been here before. When you get a big win, you're also not first class going to like, Mykonos or East Africa or, Thailand just because we ran up a quick bag, So kudos to you for that, bro. Respect.
Yeah.
Copping it. One that I want to share, I got told this from my staff, was the one I recently posted about when I was in high school and the teacher opted me out. I've got a lot of opt-out teachers. I'll tell like two real quick so we can wrap up. Yeah. So the one that I posted about was we were on like a year 10 school camp, like leadership camp. So I got selected for a leadership camp. I'm like that should be fun, whatever. Yeah. Me and one of my closest mates since high school, Avin, shout out to Avin. It was like a camp, and I'm black, bro. Like most black people don't like camp. Anyway, so I'm on this camp, I'm like, it's gonna be boring. We get up and like everyone's talking, we're having fun, we're socializing. But this one particular teacher, he knows who he is. I'm just gonna call him Mr. James. Mr. James. Like he didn't dislike me, he was just a smart ass. And he treated me like shit. Because I was not like, I guess, just I didn't act the way he wanted me to act, but I was never disrespectful.
Yeah.
Leadership camp, he's there, the other teachers are there. And one night, overnight, he was particularly telling everyone, shut up, you guys are speaking too loud, get some sleep. And I've always been respectful to my teachers. I'm Nigerian, I was raised by good parents, always been respectful. But for some reason, I just maybe had the most notable voice. The next morning, we're walking uphill, and I'm like, I'm probably top 5 athletic out of all these other 40 year 10s. Why am I like the most fatigued carrying up my bag? We get to the point where you take off the big backpack and, you get the food out, like in tins. And I'm taking everything out, and I see a big boulder, like bigger than this.
Yeah.
In my backpack. I'm 15, yes. And I'm like, what's this? And this guy, Mr. James, is like, oh, you found it, dummy. That's what you get for being loud. It was a UK accent guy. And everyone laughed. And Avin didn't laugh. Shout out to my brother. He wanted to laugh. Look here, I don't blame him. That's my brother. I would have laughed if it wasn't me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I didn't laugh. Yeah, it was just disrespect. And like it's so uppy, bro. Who has the time to do that?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's crazy. It's true. Like that's wild.
Yeah, bro. So that's just, I got so many stories like that. But
yeah.
That was definitely a time when I got embarrassed. And I got humbled, and not for the right reasons. That's the thing as well. Getting your ego destroyed isn't that you're gonna have a fair process in getting it destroyed. But just the art of getting it destroyed. Maybe you got cheated on. Maybe, you failed and you had to repeat a year in high school. Maybe like something emotionally reshaped you and had you make you create new behaviors.
Yeah.
That's what I think is a big part of, in particular, masculinity, in particular.
Mm.
But of course, also for the ladies, it goes both ways, getting them their egos humbled as well.
Mm.
I'll give one business one, and then if there's anything you want to add, you can wrap up.
Yep.
A business one. You've been there for some of my business ones. I've talked about this one before. I got hacked for like 10, 15K when I was like 22 with the NFT thing.
Yeah.
And we went out to laundry bar that night because I was like, F it. Like, I lost the money. Like, I might as well spend everything, you know? That was all the savings I really had at the time.
That was tough.
So that was good. What's one I haven't told before? There's so many. What's something that's recent? Oh, well, actually, this one's recent. Well, yeah, well, recently, like, my Facebook, like 4 Instagram accounts all got suspended
Yeah.
at once. So my Instagram, you might not know about this. Yeah, you don't know about this, Eric. Yeah, so my Clientele Boosters Instagram page that I've had since I was 19, completely inaccessible, gone forever. My main Instagram account that had over 30,000 followers, gone forever. Restaurant Revolution, we created like 3 different versions. Each of them got banned, one after one. Now, what we suspect for that division is we have an op, a local op, that is doing a similar niche service. And they keep reporting our page. That's what we suspect, which is fine. We've just worked around that and we're not using that name anymore on Instagram for the time being. And my Facebook account that I've had since I was 13, completely gone. That one we're trying to get back. We have some connects. I'm not going to, some high level connects in the space, but they want like 5,000, 10,000 US dollars to get just the Facebook account back. And there's no guarantee that they won't unban it.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was a bit of an L because to get all those accounts back will cost upwards of 20,000 US dollars just to maybe get them back. But honestly, bro, like when and my whole team, they lost access to certain things as a result of it. But ultimately, like, that's really not a big deal because,
of course,
again, our egos have been humbled. My ego's been humbled. I was like, as long as I can still serve my clients, as long as I can still average 2 or 3 new clients a week for my team, as long as I keep seeing Stripe revenue going up and our staff taken care of and clients getting leads, and we make for our clients, hopefully between $5 to $10 million for our clients this year, like, it's going to be okay. But yeah, that's a recent L as of the last 6 weeks. Yeah, man, you know, I like it. I like it. I know a lot of agencies would have quit if we did that.
Yeah, no.
We've had our agency ad account hacked before.
Yeah.
Years ago, our ad account actually got hacked, and someone tried to spend 10,000 a day on one of our clients' ad accounts, and we were like, we're hacked, and he's like, no, you guys are trying to F me over, and this was like when I was 22, 23. So multiple stories, but those ones are top of mind. But that's why you need to get your ego humbled, man. You know, it's good.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know you've lost way more than me in ventures, let's just say. So you know, that humbles me as I get humbled, you know?
Oh, definitely. It definitely humbles you. Yeah.
100%.
For sure. Yeah.
Cool. Any other final things you want to add, Maji?
No, that's pretty good. I mean, definitely one thing is just adapt to the new trend.
Yeah.
Like when I say trend in business, obviously AI is now doing amazing. So adapt and mold whatever venture that you're running to facilitate for that industry.
Yeah.
And so on. You know, eventually augmented reality will be a huge thing. You know, so that's just being able to like adapt, you know, improvise and overcome. You know, that's like the way I see it. Yeah. So adapting to, because you know, billionaires follow the trend. That's also one thing I've seen. So they always follow the trends. They will always mold. You know, it's always
billionaires follow the trend.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is there what led you to that lesson?
I mean, everything. So like you look at even like the financial economy. At certain times, every couple years, you'll always have a recession. You'll always have a boom. And there's always a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, and data, like data never lies, you know?
Yeah.
Like you can always look up like when multi-billionaire companies and people are investing, you know, at the bottom of like assets. And then when you can see it when they sell, and like those are big trends. And like, you know, I'm not particularly talking about trading, but I'm talking about overall economy, you know? So it can be for so many different things. So there's always a trend. They will always follow a trend, you know? Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Follow the trend.
Yeah.
Merhawi, thank you, Maji. All right.
Appreciate it.
Let's get it. Melbourne Mobile Podcast. Let's get it. Peace.